a couple years later when we went through some shit, some more couples therapy. And so I don't know, how do we support? I mean, I think the answer truly is go to therapy because that's always the answer. Spoiler alert. Always the answer. But how do we support, or how can couples that aren't willing to do therapy or maybe don't see that as their next step, how do we support them in developing rules for fighting well or identifying what their narrative or their story is going to be when it comes to conflict?
I think it starts with defining conflict because, especially if you have a lot of trauma, your perception of conflict is negative.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be a knockdown, drag out, like, battle. Like, it can't just be two people with different perceptions and worldviews coming together to reach a solution. So I think understanding first what conflict means, and then also looking at what does anger mean for you, because there is such a negative connotation around the emotion of anger. And just understanding like what, just because you don't punch holes in the wall, right? Like, doesn't mean that you don't have anger, and understanding what it looks like to take anger out on yourself, because that's not as common as external anger. We pay a lot of attention to external anger, but the person that's like not eating well and not going to the doctor and not going to sleep and living off of 17 coffees and monsters all day, like, that person's
Targeting.
Yeah. I'm also targeting myself if it makes you feel any better. But like, that is like self-neglect, and that comes from internal anger and resentments and things like that.